Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about your operation here at Okarche and talk a little bit about what you guys do as far as farming and ranching.
You're going to be editing this at least.
I will.
I'm cold.
Yeah.
We've been no-tilling for over 20 years. I'll never go back and be a dirt flipper again. Soil health, you know, my hearing's really bad because ever since I started it, everybody told me you can't do it. You can't do it. So evidently I have bad hearing because I've went ahead and done it. So anyways, I started it. I got tired of watching the water run off the field. I got tired of paying extra money for flipping dirt. So I went to no-till, like I said, over 20 years ago. I didn't know back then what I know about cover crops. The last 2 years, I've been unsuccessful with my cover crops because of the lack of NPNR, moisture, precipitation, and rainfall. So anyways, I truly love my cover crops. Sun hemp, cowpeas, okra, sunflowers, hay grazer, brown top millet, anything I can put in the mix. And then I go back, my main production is forage production for stocker cattle. I go back with rye, triticale, barley, oats, turnips, rapeseed. This past year I threw in a little bit of buckwheat, but it didn't rain, so I didn't get my buckwheat up. But my main goal is forage production. I parked the combine many years ago and got rid of that. And this past 2 weeks ago, I had 3 individuals called, "You got any wheat pasture?" No, because we're lacking on moisture. And then the next day there was an opportunity for 500 more head to come in. So I know that there's a demand for wheat pasture. And the one year, the one gentleman could not believe this cattle was out grazing as wet as it was. And I said, I have soil structure. I said, it's like a sponge. Yes, it will step down on the soil, but the soil comes back with enough organic material in it that we do not have a compaction. And that goes back to my lack of hearing. Well, the cattle will cause compaction. Cattle don't cause compaction. It's iron that causes compaction.
Let's talk a little bit about your grazing operation, Matt. You guys do something a little bit different than most folks in this part of the world. I mean, so many people are dual purpose wheat. You guys do things a little different, don't you?
No, we do a lot different. I no longer have a box to stand on or think out of. I threw it away years ago. Yes, in what respect do you mean on the grazing operation?
Let's talk a little bit about, you know, you run cattle and sheep both, don't you?
Oh yeah, sheep and cattle, and there again, you know, it goes back to, well, you can't do that. But anyways, I've been successful at doing it. As the one deal was years ago, it was pounds, not bushels, and that's what I try to accomplish. But yet I still have to have the rainfall. Several years ago, come back with one soil sample that after following a legume crop, I needed 11 pounds of nitrogen to grow a 40 bushel wheat crop. And I told the audience, I said, I'm a bad manager. I have not fertilized in 2 years. But that was because of growing legumes. It just helps. Anytime you can keep the Oklahoma sun and wind off the soil, you're better off situation.
So you've definitely seen some benefit when you talk about the wind and the rain. Obviously, when it doesn't rain, you can't do anything. But as far as trying to hold on to moisture and trying to control erosion, have you seen the benefits from the no-till and the covers?
Oh, absolutely. Because when I switched to no-till, one of the main reasons was we was always waiting on the rain. Always waiting on the rain. Now, if we have limited moisture in the summertime, I plant the latter part of August because you have to have a solar collector out in order to make my wheat pasture or my forage pasture grow. I shouldn't say wheat, my forage production grow. And the more leaf production I have, the more forage you will produce. Plain and simple. All it is a solar collector.
That'll do it.
Good enough? All right.